Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mythic Championship Qualifier event. In today's video, I'm going to be playing through my sealed run of day one of this event. But before I dive in, I want to remind you that if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more limited content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. The goal today is to get to 7 wins before 3 losses, match-wise, so 7 match wins before 3 match losses. So let's open up the build and see how it goes. I haven't looked at my cards yet. Let's see how we go. Let's get some rares. Ooh, baby. Nice. We get Grafted Identity, Curse of Surveillance, which is even better in Sealed. So basically Sealed is a slower format, so value cards are really nice. So Grafted is great. Curse is good. Tovolar's Huntmaster. Let's go. And then Geistflame Reservoir can be pretty good. This card's kind of a dud, and this is a land, so we'll have to see what our colors look like, but already kind of wanted to play that Tovolar's Huntmaster. Oh, the sound effects. Okay, so in Sealed, when I'm building a deck, the first thing I like to do is go through and add, on Arena, there's different strategies I use in paper, but on Arena I like to go through and add all the cards I would be happy playing in my deck in Sealed, and one of the things you do is you can kind of lower your evaluation of all of the 2-drops that aren't like super premium. So we'll be going through. Gavany Trapper is a card that I'm relatively happy playing. Search Party Captain is one I'm relatively happy playing, and then the rest of these cards are kind of junky. So the odds of me playing white are relatively low with that kind of support at common. Let's go through the blue cards. I think Larder Zombie is actually probably pretty solid in Sealed, depending on what you have in your deck. Secrets of the Key can be good, but it's more of a marginal card. Happy with Beta Gangler. You want your 2-drops to have some relevance later, and this being a 1/2 flyer late is nice. Scab Wrangler is a good 2-drop. I like Startle. Falcon Abomination can be good. Flip the Switch can be good. Grafted. Woo, we got an Organ Hoarder, nice. Firmament Sage can also be pretty solid because value is just good. Ooh. Phantom Carriage, Curse of Surveillance. Gale Drifter is reasonable, it's just a flyer. So blue's looking very good. I find it very unlikely that we don't end up playing blue. Now let's look at our black cards. So we kind of know that blue's good. Let's just keep it simple here. Black cards. Eaten Alive is good. This card's not good. Midnight Ambush is pretty good. Defenestrate's pretty solid. I like Baneblade Scoundrel. Not looking like a ton of black cards, but there is some removal. So if we did want to splash black, we could have some options. So let's look at red. Flame Channeler, not particularly good. Stolen Vitality. I do like Thermo Alchemist. This card's solid. Rush is sometimes okay. This card's reasonable, potentially. Seize the Storm can be good. Elementalist is sometimes okay, but red's not looking insane. We do want to play green if we can because of that Huntmaster. So let's see if we have any good green cards. This is actually a pretty solid 2-drop. And a pretty solid 2-drop. Farmer's nice. Defend is medium. Ooh, double Shadow Beast sighting and a Rise of the Ants and a Tovolar's Huntmaster. Well, looks like we are going to, and we don't really have a ton of fixing. So most straightforward deck is going to be blue-green, probably by a mile, so let's just build blue-green and see what we need to do. So let's just add all of our potentially good blue-green cards, and then we can make cuts from there. It just looks like blue-green has all of our best stuff. We might have to play this Locked in the Cemetery if we don't have any interaction. Birdmire can be good if we're more defensive. So this is 44 cards. Do we have any interactions? The next thing I like to look for. We have Grafted Identity. Flip the Switch. A couple of Geist Waves potentially and some Startles. So we don't really have any removal. Do we have any fixing? We have this one path to the festival. But I don't think there's going to be a heavy fixing format. But this has all of our best cards, it feels like. A lot of graveyard value, a lot of just good stuff going on. We might have to play this locked just to have some extra interaction, because that way we have 2 removal spells. I think this is going to be our best colors. Black does not offer much outside of these 3 removal spells. We do not have any jacks or wilds. Sounds like we're playing a different card game. Like, I don't have any jacks of clubs. Don't have any wild cards. We got some good sideboard options. Defend the Celestis is interesting. Probably not for our deck, because we're maybe not beating down as heavily. But yeah, let's just see what we'd want to cut here. So, Secrets of the Key could be good if we need extra value. We probably don't want multiple Geist Waves. Shipwreck Sifters. How many Disturb cards do we have? Slash, yeah. We do not have enough Disturb cards to make it worth it. We have 3. Yeah, I don't really love this card anyway. It's not really my favorite type of card. So we have Larder Zombie I kind of like because we have all this graveyard stuff. We have 3... We actually have like 6 good 2-drops. So that's pretty nice. We can maybe play a bit of a more beatdown role, which could be good to make sure we don't randomly just lose when we don't have removal spells. That could mean that Howl of the Hunt is better. So let's see if we can maybe play a beatdown role. We have... Sorry. Okay, we have some decent attackers. We have 2 2-drops, 3 2-drops, 4, 5 good 2-drops. A couple of 3s. The 3s are not particularly aggressive, though. This one's not a really good aggressive 3-drop. Some good 4s. And then some good value and stuff. We can just kind of play a mid-rangey role, so we don't need to go like super skewed and like play our Timberland guide, but we can side into the Howl of the Hunt, defend the Celestis deck. These combat tricks aren't as good because 2 of our best 2-drops are 2 ones that we kind of want to die, and this one doesn't really tangle very well. So they'll still often trade potentially. This card could be very high upside though. I'm going to consider it. This card's a little bit worse because +2/+2, but putting 3 counters onto a thing could be really good. Don't really like the Timberland guide here. Just not a high enough impact card. Wolf. Not really in the market for. This is a 17 land deck, I think. Is the Birdmire worth playing? This deck is 15 creatures, but then this is like creature, creature, creature. So I've got 3 extra creatures there, so like 18 creatures. Stormrider Spirit's just not a very powerful card, so I don't think I'm going to play that. I might not need Secrets of the Key either. We can side it in if we need it, or feel like we might need it. Geist Wave is not a particularly inspiring card. This is just like all my best cards, I think. This card seems pretty good in my deck. This is sealed. This card's like medium, but I think I need to play it for just some extra interaction. This card's interesting, but it's good to have some value engines in sealed. Let's just check our blue cards again. Yeah, we have way better card draw than this. We have some flyers other than this guy. Yeah, I think we're going to run it like this initially. Let's see what our color distribution is. 15-8. So I think 9-8 is a good mix because we do have some green 2-drops. We don't have any like Evolving Wilds to do things that are fancy, but we have the Secrets of the Key. We have this Geist Wave that we could consider if we need them. I think this is the best build. We could also like go more aggressive and play like the Snarling Wolves, the Timberland Guide, our combat tricks if we need to. Like makes the startles a little bit better, but we already have those as better combat tricks than these random ones. Yeah, I think we're gonna run it like this. But we have good options in the sideboard, so I like that. Yeah, so that's going to do it for the build. I'll see you folks in the matches. If you are enjoying this video and enjoying my content in general and want to help me continue producing videos, consider becoming a patron and contributing to the channel directly at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It is thanks to the patrons that I'm able to make so many gameplay videos and also innovate with brand new forms of content like the Draft Meta Update series and the Drafting with Data series. Patreon is simple, it is affordable, it can be canceled at any time if you decide it is not right for you, and you also gain access to some exclusive bonus content and rewards for becoming a patron, so I really do my best to make it a win-win for everyone involved. I'm very grateful to all of the people who do support my content. There's over 100 patrons now, which is truly incredible. Special shout out to those who support at the credits level. I really do appreciate you folks as well, especially so, and I am very grateful for all of my patrons at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you want to help the channel grow and thrive into the future, Patreon is the best place to do so, and I truly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. We will choose to be on the play. Okay, so this is an easy mulligan. And this is an easy keep. I like it. I'm going to put back an island. I think this is worth keeping, and I can probably hit a land off the farmer. And going 2-drop, 3-drop is nice. Okay, so blue-black. Don't really want to trade these. These will be eventually unblockable, I think. I can play the Bird Admirer and then next turn flip it. I think I'm okay missing a land drop to do that. Maybe they have their own flip to switch. Okay. So now it's up to me to play this farmer. Hit a land, hopefully. Perfect. And then I can tap this flyer. So they are not splashing because they played 2 low allows. +1/+1 counter. So that thing's going to keep growing unless I stop their flyer. So that's pretty straightforward for me. I would love to have done it on that guy, but... And then I'm actually going to play the larder zombie so I can start surveilling. I don't care about the damage right now. Rather hold up a good block for this thing. It doesn't put me in any danger. I have a nice triple block for it now. Oh, that's huge. Big draw. Organ Hoarder is a good draw. I can let this thing keep growing and then take it. I need this. No. I'm gonna take the land, because this way I can like find Rise of the Ants eventually. And I get to play this. And then I can surveil twice. And I'm setting up to steal this. Startle's good. That's a pretty reasonable draw. I do hope this works. Killing their own guy? Why are they doing that now? So they have 2 Infernal Grasps. That's good to know. They've got a Gale Drifter. Not attacking with that. Maybe I wasn't supposed to attack with this because them getting this guy back is so bad for me. Figure I might be able to set up a lethal alpha strike. I have 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. I've seen a lot of instant speed removal spells. Two Infernal Grasp at least. So I know they have an Organ Hoarder. I think I can beat this deck. Locked in the cemetery. So Geist gonna want to come in, I think. It's their Infernal Grasps and they're eaten alive and stuff. Oh, I forgot to surveil. Well, that was okay. That might help me with my quest. Huge. Ooh, the Abomination. Do I have enough power to get the job done? They have. If they attack me with all 3, I have 2, 4. So let's just say block this guy, this guy, this guy. They take 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh man. That's another unblockable threat. Yeah, I get a while ago. Have a Ludwig. I should have attacked all. I would have gotten through for 5 and lost one of my guys. Oh no, I would have gotten through for 5 plus a 2. Lost this guy. Oh. Mistakes were made, opponent. Please attack like this. I get to surveil a lot here. Oh my gosh. Decline. Yeah, I'll take a turn. Two bodies for one here. I think I've got him. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I don't want to attack because I have 12 guys, so I can tap down all 4 of their dudes. Yes! Let's go. Huge. I forgot I had that card in my deck. I literally took a screenshot of my deck, and I forgot that I had Scab Wrangler as an out. I should have checked that earlier. Okay, so what do I know about their deck? I know they have... Let's just look at the battlefield for double checking. They have a lot of flyers, so I have 2 plummets, which are going to be huge in this matchup. They have a lot of instant speed removal, and they have a locked in the cemetery. So, against their flyers, I'm going to bring in both my plummets. I could even consider the Bounding Wolf. I don't really want these combat tricks because I don't want to get blown out by their Infernal Grasps, and it's kind of hard to play around those. Storm Rider Spirit could be good as well. And then I want one Geist Wave, I think. And what don't I want? I mean, they have a lot of good removal spells, but I still think a lot of my cards are great. The Gale Drift, I mean, the Firmament Sage is maybe a bit slow. They seem to have a decent amount of action. Locked in the Cemetery, maybe not as good against them. What cards are weaker? The Sentry doesn't seem particularly good. I'm not going to be able to beat them down fast enough. And they're not super aggressive. They just have a lot of flyers. Shadow Beast could be good. It lines up well against their flyers, potentially. They know about Flip the Switch, but now that I'm bringing in this card. I guess I'll just do it like this. Not 100% sure on that sideboarding. I've seen 12 of their 23 playables. Okay, so this is an interesting hand. A Scab Wrangler is a key card. I have this guy, and I'm on the draw, and I have a Startle. So I'm going to keep this hand. But it is a little bit reliant on drawing some lands. So that's good. Drawing my first land there is huge. They could Infernal Grasp this guy after they saw what he did last game, but last game was a bit of an exception as well. I want to have the odds of, like, maybe blowing them out with my Startle. That could go badly for me. I've drawn some lands, though, which is nice. Getting the Morbid Opportunist off the board is going to be a challenge. They have a lot of removal. Okay, Organ Holder, sure. If they attack, I'll double block. Might just use my Startle as a cantrip here. If they attack me back, I'll just save 2 points of damage. Though I feel like because they have the Falcon Abomination in their deck, it could be a little bit better. But I really want to hit my 6th land drop, and I'm not going to be able to hold this up for a while. So they're hitting me for 1, sure. The fact that they haven't drawn any removal spells yet is really good for me. Oh, nice. Plummet is going to be great here. If they put this thing in. Oh, this is going to be good for me coming up, I think. So this thing's going to grow again. But then I'll get to play my Rise of Ants. Okay, they played their Infernal Grasp. Ludwig, sure. Not drawing a land there is a little bit tough for me. So I think I'm going to sacrifice that to my Grafted Identity. What do I take? Probably have to take the Bloodthirst. I don't have any flyers, so my Plummet's not doing much. I need to get to my Rise of Ants in a spot where I can actually still win. So I just think I need to take that guy. Yep, they will get to draw another card. I'm drawing extra card a turn as well, though. And once I get my Rise of Ants going, I think I'll be in good shape. they ever bring this thing back, it'll be real good for me. Oh my gosh, they have 2 Covetous Castaways. Sure thing. Hit the land drop. Just gonna jam this for now, I think. Gain 2 life. So I'll go to 11, I'll take 3 from this. They won't really be able to attack with the rest. Gain 2 life, though. That's tough. Okay. So I want to play this, and have flip the switch up. They have a Revenge of the Drowned, you know about. So, I don't want them to draw the card from this. He has to block with Opportunist if you attack with all. He'll block there, though. He'll block this guy. It's a free block. If I attack with this, I have 1, 2, 3 blockers. I'm certainly playing this guy. I'll have to kill this. So I'll do it while they're... So they can try to make this thing into a copy of the Falcon Abomination, and then I can plummet it. And then I can shrink this, and then I can kill them. So if I attack with all, they can go block, block, they have to block this guy. So for starters, they're going to be chumping. Let's just say they jump like this. Jump there. They also can block there, but then they take 2, 4, 7. So if I attack with just these two, they still have to chump one, or they trade there. So I have to play this, I think. If I attack with all, they have to trade with both their guys. So they go trade, chump, take 6. Or trade, yeah, so they have to block. I didn't have a disturb card I could have gotten, right? No, I did not. This is way safer. It gains me 2 life, so this thing can't kill me. And it also gives me a couple of extra blockers for this thing. I could go this and get my angler. But now I have 3 lethal attackers. They have 1 blocker. Have I seen any cards that would get them at? Plummet coming in out of the sideboard is literally going to win me this game, because Plummet is incredible against the stuff what they just tried to do. I think I'm safe against all the cards that I've seen from them. They had a lot of flyers in their deck. I think we got them. I think they're just raging. Or they're deep in the tank trying to think of their outs. I'll try to have that conclusion, and not that they're enraged. Wow, Curse of Surveillance doing major work. Okay, so this should seal it for us. Wow, they have a sludge monster. Because we can then counter whatever they try to do to stay alive here. Oh, they're not quite dead. Impressive, impressive. Shoot. So, this thing would be lethal, but I have extra blockers for this thing. So I can play 2 blockers. I can play this and Phantom Carriage. I think that's the line. Expect 3, giving this unblockable. Can they? Would they then have room to play another spell? 3 to give this unblockable. They have 4, 8. So then they'd have to play a 2-mana removal spell. They can't play Infernal Grasp. They could play Eaten Alive. So I will still want 2 blockers. Trying to maximize my odds here. So they can make this guy unblockable, but now I have 4 lethal attackers. They have 2 blockers right now. Kind of got this guy under wrap. Oh no, they've got it. No! Well, actually, they have to have a removal spell that costs 3 or less. So I was trying to play around that. Playing around 2 removal spells was not going to be possible for me. The removal spell's not cheap enough. Oh, gosh. Gale Drifter, okay. So they don't have an attack now. So if I play this guy, I definitely win next turn. But I don't know if I can survive, so I have to be able to block both their flyers. So I have 1 reach creature. I could just play the Gale Drifter and the Mythic Angler and the Farmer to be safe. So I have 10 mana. I could play this plus Gale Drifter. And then if they don't have removal, which if they had removal, they might have killed this thing. So this will give me my second blocker I need. So I can go block, block. They make that unblockable. I have so many guys. And then I'm just going to pass. Because if they don't have a spell, then I'm going to win. I have 5 attackers and they have 3 blockers. So you have to double spell in some way. And this gives me a chance to draw a Plummet. Storm Rider Spirit. Oh, 1 mana off. Yeah. So that'll give them a 4th blocker, but it doesn't do what they need to do. And that should give me lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. They have 4 blockers. So even if they had the 1 mana bounce spell, I still win. Huge. Absolutely huge. Let's go. Got the win in round 1. Let's see if we want to make any changes to the deck. Wow. Thanks, James. That was an insanely close match. Okay, so I definitely don't need Secrets of the Key. I had plenty to do. I don't really need the Geist Wave, I don't think. Storm Rider was a good sideboard card. Plummets were great sideboard cards. Won me that second game. Overall, I think this Firmament Sage could be pretty good still. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it seems like it has potential. I don't really know what... I don't really want the combat tricks in the dark. I could see playing the Storm Rider Spirit over the Firmament Sage, but I think this is a fine configuration for now. I think Firmament Sage is a nice value engine into this sort of spot sometimes. 1-0. Great opening hand. Got a Organ Horde or a Beta Gangler. Looks like they're mulliganing, maybe. At least, maybe they mulligan, or maybe that was just the keep animation. No, they did mulligan. Okay, so they mulliganed to 1. Okay, swamp. "100% focused." Okay, swamp and plains. I'm going to play my Harvest Tide because it hits harder, and also they're more incentivized to block, so if they play like a 2-something... Oh, bird admirer, you beautiful, beautiful creature. We'll do that. So we've shut him down for now. I'm going to take the forest so I can keep hitting land drops to get up to my phantom carriage. He did mulligan. They don't look, they're not in a card advantage color. Well, that's a nightmare. I have no way to kill that in my deck. I have locked in the cemetery. Jeez Louise. I have to find my... I have to bring in Plummet. That's going to be a really tough card to beat. Yikes. Sure. I have to tap this guy down. Where were you when I needed you to counter the Liesa? Where were you when the thing from Rohan fell? Okay, so I can tap this thing down and then lock it in the cemetery. Or I can force him to use the mana first. Tap this thing. I'm just gonna flip it to nighttime. Three, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Jeez Louise, I'm so close to killing them. This can't block, so this can tap down something. I mean, they're in trouble. No! How could you? You monster. So they have 3 blockers. One, actually, they only have 2 if they're going to tap something with it. So they have 3 blockers to say that they can deal with this guy, this guy, this guy, and they take 3, 5, 7, 9. They go block, block, and take 3, 5, 7, 9. Soul Guide Griff. Well, Plummet is going to once again dominate them. Let's just double check we know what all their cards are. They have a Gavany Trapper. I forgot to write it down, but I have some time. 2 minutes. So they have the Interloper, they have the Trapper, they have a lot of planes. Swamps there. This is like the easiest double plummet of my life. I did not see any instant speed removal. The 3/3 does not line up particularly well. Geist Wave, not a particularly useful card here, maybe. No, okay. So I like adding just the 2 plummets. And then what do we not want? Firmament Sage is my worst card, I think, so I think I'm going to cut that a lot when I make a better sideboard change. Harvesttide Sentry seems okay in the matchup. Birdmire was good. Flip the Switch is another potential answer. I'm just going to cut Shadow Beast Sighting, maybe. That, or I could cut... I mean, Lock doesn't really do the job against Liesa. Just going to do that. Did not see a ton of their cards. They had played a decent number of planes and swamps. I saw like a quarter of their deck. Okay. They mulligan immediately. On the draw, I have more islands than force. I'm going to keep this hand. I think Startle's pretty good. I just generally always find that it smooths my draw, it helps me hit my land drops. They mulligan twice. So this thing might just naturally flip if I don't do anything on my next turn, or if they are stuck on. Okay, they have a Defenestrate. So they're stuck on lands as well. But luckily I drew that land, I top decked it. That was huge. It's a good draw, I think. There's no way they block if I attack. Otherwise they would have offered the trade on their own terms when I didn't have mana up. Try to get to my 6th land so that my Huntmaster can win me the game. Sure. Certainly not using Plummet on that when I know they have Liesa in their deck. What are they killing? Oh, that thing? Sure. It's gonna be nighttime again. I mean daytime again. They have eaten alive. And so that thing flips. Yikes. Oh no, I can get cursed down. Perfect. So now I'm just going to be way ahead. I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. I have my Plummet if they draw Liesa. They block here. They take 2, 4, 6. I don't really want to attack with these guys yet, but I guess I already lose my Scab Wrangler this game. No, I didn't. I'll attack with these guys then. Let's just do this. And I have my answer to Liesa all locked and loaded. Got the win. Huge. I've not really liked the Firmament Sage, but I don't know if I want to main deck Plummet. Maybe I'm supposed to main deck Plummet. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to main deck 1 copy over the Firmament Sage. It just seems to be, I mean, the blue decks have so many flyers. It feels sketchy to do, though. I could even go like halfway and play Stormrider Spirit as a way to eat flyers, but it doesn't line up well with Soul Guide Griff. This card seems medium to me. I feel like I've been pretty solid on things to do. I want to play one more game without hitting in the main deck, I think. I do not have a ton of removal, considering Plummet to some degree. I have, yeah, very little removal. Okay, on the draw, this is a great hand. I got my 3rd guy. Firmament Sage could do some stuff. We'll have to see if this would have been better as Plummet, but I'm not going to kick myself about that one if it would have been better as Plummet. They mulligan again. A little bit lucky on that side of the variance. Whew. Swamp, sure. Out. They play Vampire Interloper. This is not going to go well for me. Potentially. punished. Unfortunately, it's still dealing damage. They did miss a land drop, which is nice. I could even ditch a land so that I can find it with Eccentric Farmer. That's a feels bad. Oh my gosh, you milled my 3 best cards. Oh my gosh. Not my 3 best, but that guy would have been good. Okay, so they have a Vampire Socialite. Yeah, Novice Occultist. Gosh darn it, Farmer, you betrayed me at the worst moment. That's tough. Gosh darn it, Farmer. You almost milled both of my best cards. What's my permanent solution to this Interloper? I can draw a Reach Creature, a Flyer to trade with it. Scab Wrangler can buy me some time. That was a good draw. They have to kill Scab Wrangler. I'm not going to hover over the cards to make that choice easier for them, but killing Scab Wrangler is definitely the call. Just going to run away with it. Wow, okay. Seems pretty bad to me. Yeah, Olivia's midnight ambush. Ecstatic Awakener. Voltaren Stinger. I just want to play this Shadow Beast sighting. Kind of. Larder Zombie's good because it can blank the occultist for a minute. They do not have a good attack here. I triple block. They can only kill one of my. They can kill this thing plus something else, I think. So I hope that they don't have a removal spell. I'm gonna use their Ecstatic Awakener, hopefully. And then if I can find Rise of the Ants, I'll be in great shape. That's my last best card, I think. That'll win me the game. Again, they should have killed the Scab Wrangler like a year ago. Locked. That's huge. Oh my gosh, that's finally... Yeah, that's going to be big. And they finally hit their 4th land drop halfway through the game. So Firmament Sage has looked awful because I haven't been able to find a time to cast it. Go block. No, if they had Midnight Ambush, they would have reused it already. +3/+1. So they don't have removal, or they would have killed the Scab Wrangler like a year ago. They could have +3/+1. In which case, this block makes sense. Get a +2/+2 with the Harvest Pyre, in which case this block makes sense. So they do have Neonates Rush. That's not the best for me. The fact that I had to mill my grafted identity and I flipped my Toblast Huntmaster really was not good. This thing missing on lands really made this game a lot harder for me. Okay, so it's going to flip back to daytime. Need to find Rise of the Ants. It's in here somewhere. If it's my literal last card, I might not be able to win, which would suck. I have a couple Shadow Beast sighting stuff going, though. That can be good. And Phantom Carrots can do good work as well. And this is just a 4/4 to close the game out. Could be the best. Rise of the Ants. I have Gale Drifter. That's huge, too. Falcon Bomb. I have all my flyers left. So that's actually really good for me. Might stop milling myself with this thing. I just... Because I have 7, 8 lands. 4 in the graveyard. So I have 5 lands left. I might need as much time as I can get, and I'd rather draw the lands than mill them, I think. Might have to stop using this as well. Okay, so they have a mounted Dread Knight too. Roll from the cellar. Sure, Famished Foragers. They do not have very many good cards. Like, I'm not super scared of any of their cards. This is going to be my last Surveil, maybe. I'm just going to try to find something good. Decline. So I'm going to need my flyers to be able to kill them. This could stabilize me. Yeah, I'm going to stabilize with this turn. Because the ants are going to be huge for that. Gonna get my 1-2. Start chipping away in the air. I will draw one more card off this. Then I think I'm going to be done. Just so I can have more time to do what I need. So yeah, Falcon Abomination and Gale Drifter are what I need. I'll draw one last card off that, and then I'm going to start saying 0, I think. I need them to not have removal is what I need. Silverbolt, that doesn't kill anything. All I need is this Phantom Carriage to survive. Oh no. Yes, the Abomination. Out of cards. Pretty much. These relevant ones. Dismounted Dread Knight's going to be a little bit of a problem, but I've got 4 power in the air to spread out. So I have to play only 1 spell, so that I don't accidentally mill myself with a Sage. Just block like that. This Sage is a problem. Can't risk double spelling. I think I can Alpha Strike him next turn. That is not good to see. Oh, that's real bad. It's not what you like. It's gonna flip. I'm gonna lose. No. This Firmament Sage literally going to lose me the game. They should please just cast a spell. Oh my gosh. Firmament Sage is gonna kill me. No! Oh, I'm so bad! I needed to do that Alpha Strike a turn earlier. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. What am I doing? I knew I needed to stop drawing cards, and I just drew 1 extra because I kind of misclicked, and then I justified it after the fact, but it was so bad. They have a Moonrager Slash. You don't have any good cards. No! That was so bad. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. That was just the perfect storm of everything going wrong. They had just enough time to get all their stuff going. Okay. So, None of their cards are scary. All their cards kind of suck. They must have some rare in their deck that's good. Firmament Sage is just not a good card. I think I'd rather have Geist Wave. The fact that I didn't have any option on getting it killed was super bad, and they had a 2/3, so they could just block it and didn't even have to bother jumping. Oh my gosh, I should have attacked more aggressively earlier with my guys to get my flyers. Wow, losing that game was so bad. That was like I was like super far ahead. I needed to find my flyers slightly earlier, but oh my gosh. Maybe I was supposed to bin the Gale Drifter after all, but that would have also lowered my deck size. The Firmament Sage, I did not expect it to draw me that many cards. Oh my gosh. I needed to stop surveilling earlier, but I didn't have any flyers, so I needed my flyers, so it was like didn't really make a difference because I didn't have any pressure. Okay, we'll play first. Great hand. We'll actually get to play one of our rares this game. We drew our entire deck and didn't get to play any of our best cards because we milled them all. Could have attacked there, but I'm leaving up the option of tapping. If they sacrifice it, I get to just steal it and win the game pretty much. So far, I haven't seen anything new. Just gonna keep playing my game. Got my value lined up. I don't want to wait for them to sack something to the Awakener before I steal it. Before I steal something from them. I could have stolen the Famished Foragers. Not got all the tempo. Geist Flame Reservoir. Their deck just seems like super like slow, not powerful. Play whatever you want, my friend. You have to have a board wipe to be in the game still. Got the win. Okay. Geist Flame really looking like it could be good against some of the stuff they've got going on. Dude, how much instant speed removal I've seen? I've seen Midnight Ambush, Neonate's Rush, and Moonrager Slash. They have some instant speed removal. So, like, this card maybe isn't going to blow them out as much, especially when I want the draw. Only one toughness creature is going to get rid of. I can get rid of the Harvest Sentry, maybe. I have a decent amount of X1s regardless, so that Neonate's Rush is going to get me no matter what I do, though. Defend the Celestis. I'm just going to play like this. My 4/4 seem like they'll line up well. I'll have to find some answer to the Vampire Interloper, but yeah. Okay. Well, now we have to win game 3. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in, maybe I was supposed to bring in Plummet for the Interloper, but that was the only flyer I saw, and so if they're just beating me down with other cards, I'd rather have my bounce spell. Oh my gosh. Tough situation. This match is really a difficult one because of my blunder in game 1, or maybe, I'm not sure if it was, I mean, it ended up not working out, but I should have attacked the turn before Alpha Striked, because they were going to have to block, and then I was going to be at a high enough life level not to die, I think. I just leave back Firmament Sage or something, attack with everything else. Just accept that one of my ants gets eaten. But I do so much damage that it wouldn't matter. I definitely need practice identifying those spots, because I've missed those before in the past as well. Where it's like correct Alpha Strike, even when you're like on the defensive. Good hand. And we got there. Let's go. That is not a good sign. Turn 1. Oh no, this could be a bloodbath. Oh, thank goodness they slowed it down with a bad card. I couldn't attack with the Sage because they had a 2/3, so it would have just bounced. It wouldn't have done anything. So they have Evolving Wilds. Did not see that in either of the other games. Sure. You need to rush. This means they're planning on casting something. Just need to survive until I can play the Hunt Master. They don't have a ton of removal, so that could just win me the game. If they spend their entire turn doing that, I'm okay. I need to draw another island. They have Silverbolt that can kill this. I'm just going to lock this in the cemetery. Don't know why they thought that I could let them keep getting away with hitting me with this. Okay, what burn spell do they have? They have Moonrager Slash. Huge draw. So I just need to not go down to low enough where the Moonrager Slash can kill me. Or like the pings from that 2-3 can kill me. Yeah, that thing. Need to bounce something here so I can play my Phantom Carriage this coming turn. I'm going to bounce this guy because I don't want to deal with so much menace. If I hit one land, I can play the Rise and win. So I know they have the Brimstone Vandal. Just need to make sure I don't die to Moonrager Slash. It's blocking this guy. This is a super close one again. So if I draw a land, I'll just win by casting Rise of the Ants. I don't think I can lose after casting that card in this situation. If I don't draw a land, it's closer. Okay, they're playing that. So I have to block this. Oh my gosh, I was 1 point away from dying. This thing will not flip. No, day becomes night or night becomes day. So they've cast a spell this turn, so it won't flip. So I just block here. Take 6, go to 1. Untap. Attack all. Wow, they were really close to killing me. Wow, and I killed them with Exactsies. Oh my gosh. Unless their last one is a removal spell. Yes! Holy heck, we got the win. That was an intense game. Oh my gosh. Wow, super close game. I need to take this Firmament Sage out of my deck, though, for the bounce spell, I think. Bounce spell is just so much better with what I need. Gives me some extra interaction. Ferment Sage is a clunky card. I have plenty of card advantage already. And then I can have an easy card to side out for Plummet when I need it. Huge. Wow. That was intense. These have been action-packed. I have to retake a screenshot of my deck after this round, I forgot. Okay, we lost the die roll, but we have a great hand here. We do need to hit some lands, but Larder Zombie and Startle can draw us an extra card. And they mulligan, so that's good. Plains. Lunar. Veteran. Might have to use Geist Wave just to... Ooh, Mountain. So they're an aggro deck. So them attacking here means that they have a combat trick. So I'm not going to block. Because I have Geist Wave and Startle for next turn, and both of those would be good against a combat trick. My last opponent played Raise the Effigy. Which is kind of insane. I just realized. It's like, oh my gosh. I should have locked the Stinger down a lot earlier than I did. Candle Grove Witch. Okay, drawing a land is great. They could have +3/+1. That's what I'm suspecting. And then I startle them and it goes really well for me. Raise the Effigy. Sure. They're playing Raise the Effigy, eh? What is happening? This is... I really need to win this game. If I lose this after they cast Sunset Revelry and Raise the Effigy. Oh my gosh. And there. Sunset Revelry in your aggro deck does not seem very good. Okay. That was a great draw. Jeez. I just have like everything set up. This is not going to be a particularly close game. Unless they play an absurd rare. Okay, so they get a couple 1/1s. They're playing 2 Sunset Revelries. That's really confusing. Larder Zombie's been pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna keep that one on top. See what I can find here. Okay, I'll take the land and ditch the Angler to the graveyard. I could have attacked them for 2, but I don't want to risk taking 2 from this thing. I'm so far ahead. Yep. block Rem now. I'm fine getting in some damage. And also, potentially, if they had traded, that would have been good for me. Oh, Drix Outrider, sure. That's not very good for me, but I can bounce it. I'm not going to bounce it now. Decline on that offer. I will keep that one. And now do I want to do any bouncing? No. Just going to lay down the law with the Tovolar's Huntmaster. Then next turn I'll steal their Rem. And have Geist Wave up. Mounted. Dread Knight. Let's see where they put the counter. They're probably going to put it on Rem. What do they put on that guy? Interesting. I'll decline that offer. Yep, they scoop it up. So they have Raise the Effigy, they have Sunset Revelry. I can blow out Sunset Revelry if I have more Geist Waves. I kind of want to add the extra Geist Wave. They have some flyers. I'm going to bring in a Plummet. I have not seen a ton of instant speed removal. Actually, none to speak of. So bring in Plummet and the other Geist Wave. Or maybe I just bring in Plummet and take out... Flip the switch on the draw. Not particularly scared of any of their cards, but flip the switch can be rough against aggro. On the draw. Got grafted, which they conceded to last time, but I don't have any early plays, and I don't have blue mana, so that's a mulligan. This is a keep, though. This is kind of a sketchy hand. That makes it a lot better. Larder Zombie can hold the 4 for a little bit. That was one way for that game to go. Sunset Revelry, such a weird card. Play it, it does nothing. Game over. Oh my gosh. Well, that's one way for that to end. That is one way for it to. Oh my gosh, they're just on a whole nother level. I would never have made that play. Yeah, that's tough. That card is kind of confusing, I guess. Thanks everybody for tuning in, by the way. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. Catch me streaming in the future. Also check out the NicolaiBolas YouTube channel. Wow, it's the hand. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're playing against a mountain. I need to maintain my focus. Okay, mountain. I just have like a amazing interior curve out. Immolation. And island. Okay. Well, if they're not going to do anything, this bird admirer could flip, potentially. Organ Hoarder. Gotta start that organ hoarding early. I'm considering playing Shadow Beast Sighting just as an attacker. And they mill Devious Cover Up and Electric Revelation. Devious is good to know about. I'm gonna put a star next to that one. Okay, when they where one Devious Cover Up lurks, there another one might be close to follow. I'm going to play this one over the Organ Hoarder because this thing can start attacking them and pressuring them. Storm Skrillex. Well, that could be bad for me. This is the exact reason I played the Shadow Beast, though, because it can attack like this. I think I'm going to take the land. I have plenty to do with my mana. Skrillex could hit me for a lot here. I might have to just suck it up and steal it. I have some life total to work with for the time being. I should have double blocked it, maybe. Like, I know they have one pump. Okay, Lunar Frenzy, sure. I'm glad I did not double block. So if they're able to cast 4 spells, no, they'd have to cast, yeah, a lot more spells. They can't possibly kill me. Like, I know they have one, but, like, they just don't have the mana to cast, like, 4 spells. Hi, guy. We're 4-0. And then I can steal the Storm Skrillex next turn, or whichever blocker they leave back. If I draw a land, I can even go Falcon A-Bomb into the Gale Drifter. I mean, into the Crafted Identity. Knowing about Lunar Frenzy is good, though. That makes me want to bring in another Geist Flame. Or Geist, whatever. Geist Wave. I was hoping they'd block with their Organ Hoarder. Next turn I'll play Rise of the Ants, gain back my life, hit them with my Skrillex, win the game. They have some good instants to hold up to make this Devious cover up a lot better. I still have to be careful of it. And I think I want an anti-flyer card for this Storm Skrillex, so I think I'm going to bring in 1 Plummet. Because they might have another flyer as well. And if I ever Plummet Skrillex, I just win, I think. I might take out Bird Admirer for it. No, Bird Admirer is solid. Hard to say what I take out then. Smoldering Egg. That's good to know about. Definitely want my Plummet now. Locked in the cemetery. So they can cast this. I can't quite flip the egg unless they have a 2-mana spell now. Whoa. Well, that could actually be a problem. Because then they flash it back, flash this back. They have a 4/4 flyer. Think I still win? Because I have so many ants. They have Delver of Secrets. This needs 7 counters, right? Yeah, it does. They botched it. They could have won. Oh, no, they couldn't have. Burn the accursed. So they can block, block, die. Very close game. I'm gonna bring in both my plummets. That dragon is terrifying. They have some damage-based removal, right? A 5, Lunar. Then I'm gonna bring in Geist Flame, Geist Wave number 2 because it's so good against Lunar Frenzy. And I can reset their egg guy potentially if I need to. Those are the cards I want to bring in at least. Flip the switch seems good. I think Bird Admirer is a little weak in this matchup. It doesn't match up well against their flyers. It's not going to be able to flip because they have infinite stuff to do. Gale Drifter also doesn't seem like it lines up particularly well. Does not block the Skrillex. They have Delver in their deck. It also dies. I think I'm going to got the Gale Drifter. All these cards seem really good, though. Flip the Switch seems good against some of their stuff. I think I want it. Especially because I'm adding more instants to the deck. I got the Sentry. It's my weakest 2-drop. We're going to have to mulligan this hand, obviously. Okay, this hand's much better. They also mulliganed. We'll get rid of an island. Huge. Great draw by Bait Angler. Turn to egg. That's going to be a challenge if we don't find a plummet. I'll tell you that much. There's a plummet. I think you're supposed to block there a lot of the time. Gotta be kidding me, Farmer. Come on, man. This is the Mythic Championship Qualifier. This is where it's your time to shine. It's your shiny time. Why, farmer? Why have you betrayed me? You have betrayed me, my trust. I needed you. Jeez Louise. Farmer is 0 for 2 for me today. Not a good look for you, farmer. You don't have to be lonely. That eccentric farmer's got a friend who's an insect. I wonder if they'll attack. It's okay, farmer. Farmer dug me towards my lands. Oh my gosh, they could be at 18 right now. This egg, it's afraid of doing anything. It's a fearful egg. Oh my gosh, and then they're gonna flashback this to flip their guy, and I'm gonna plummet it. Oh, it's so good to plummet. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh no, they're not doing it. Sad day. Nice 0-4 opponent. 0-4 can't block. Oh my gosh. Oh, they have a festival crasher, eh? They have 2 organ hoarders. Yep, they finally realized that blocking is a good strategy. I'm gonna get a Shadow Beast sighting. Man. This game would be a lot scarier if they were at 18, but they're kind of low. Okay, they did not have Burn the Accursed. Lambhole Carrier. Oh my gosh, what a draw! That's so much better. Plummeting it was going to be really satisfying, but that's way better. They did all that work to flip it. They kept it alive for so long. I wanted to do it then because that way they, if they haven't, they have to like use another bounce spell. What the heck? They have 3 organ hoarders? Stop! Please! Please, sir! You're hoarding all the organs! We need some for the people! There's a long waiting list! What did they take? They took Delver? Okay. Should have attacked with this guy, maybe. Oh, they revealed Otherworldly Gaze. They flipped him. Your 3-year-old loves that voice. Wow, they have Storm Skrillex too. Just a nightmare. Oh my gosh, really? Ouch. That's brutal. Am I gonna lose this game? I didn't think that would be possible, but maybe I am. I do have bait hook and looter block. I can flashback rise. It's next turn, maybe. Curse. Hmm. So I can cast this, flash it back, make this a 4-powered creature. They'll go to 1, but they'll eat this thing, but they'll use this card to do it. This game is really close, yeah. Imagine if I drew Plummet off of this startle. Okay, they have Neonate's Rush. Fallen Hope. What did they bend? They bend a Devious Cover-Up. Maybe I was supposed to make them cast this on their turn. Oh no, they kept it. That's bad. Or good, maybe. If they have a way to get rid of this guy, then they theoretically have lethal. Not accounting for my startle. They have one last instant. They're looking to see if they have any instants or sorceries they can flash back. Oh my gosh, they have second Devious Cover-Up. Wow. That's a disappointment. I think I literally lost that game because the Delver flipped on turn 2 or whatever. That was super unlucky. The end there. I don't know what I was supposed to do differently. If maybe I'm supposed to have to save Plummet for Storm Skrillex, but I feel like plummeting my own thing there means that if they do have another removal spell, then they have to use it then, or another bounce spell or something, or I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to wait. Forced them to recast it. I'm gonna run it back though. Oof. They have 2 devious cover-ups. Jeez Louise. I should have attacked with my 3/3s there, forced them to spend their cards. That was another mistake I made. So I think I botched that game. Okay, we got a great hand here. As long as we draw 1 land. Them having 3 Organ Hoarders is really annoying. That card's good. Okay, they're mulliganing. That's good for me. Dang. Tough matchup. Almost got there. Oh, are they gonna miss a land drop? Oh my gosh, that's huge for me. Raise the effigies, what seems to make sense there, but then they would attack with that guy. Stolen Vitality also makes sense. Just have so much power and toughness in play. They need Fallen Hope, I think, to help them bounce back. Just gonna keep up the pressure. I'll block with my Bait Hook Angler. Sure. Guaranteeing my hit with my farmer next turn. Okay, they've hit a couple lands now. They have DV's cover up mana. Shadowy Sightings are going to be good. Well, they have 2 locked in the cemetery. They drawn both of them when they needed it. That's annoying. I'm fine drawing that. jeez Louise. No, my crafted identity. So I can tap down this guy and hit them for 2 now. Or I'll just do it on their turn so the guy doesn't untap again and I can hit them for even more. Play Storm Skrillex, my friend. Yep, got him. Saving that plummet was key. Nope, not the right guy. Forced to block there. Oh my gosh, and then I even have to flip the switch. Let's go. Let's go. Boom! Boo! Let's go, getting the win. Plummet has been the MVP of this entire run. Just clutching it every round. Ooh, maybe I should main deck a Plummet. It's been so good. Would not have been good in that one round, though. Guy's Flame is probably better at main deck. This is the deck. I'm going to take another screenshot because I did swap out that one card. Firmament Sage. Yeah, we are 5-0. Maybe Plummet is just main deckable. What the heck was that? My mouse, it gives me issues sometimes, I think. Yep, that's the one that I wanted. Plummet has been so good. Maybe I'm just supposed to main deck it. It's such a tough choice, though, because if it doesn't work, it just could lose you the game. But it's been super good for me so far. Storm Skrillex was terrifying there. Gotta be said. I would take out the Geist Wave. Yeah, Windows Shift S is another shortcut, yeah. So we win the die roll. Okay, now this is one that I don't think I can keep. I don't have anything to do until turn 4. I only have 2 lands. This one is also bad, but I at least have some power picks here, and the Organ Hoarder can find me more stuff. And I have a 3-drop. So I'm going to keep this and get rid of the Shadow Beast sighting. I think this could end badly, though. But I at least have some power here. Swamp. Queens. Flesh Taker. Oh my gosh. That is so bad. This card is so good against me. I'm gonna have to graph that identity, that guy. Ugh. Ah, Hans, run! It's the Lurgoyf. I'll double block the Flesh Taker. Yep. Jeez Louise, that's such a hard pick to make. I am still at 20, so I'll take 4, 8. They're missing land drops. So maybe I can get the curse down, and that'll help me stabilize, take their flyer or something. I have my bait hook angler to deal with the flyer. I just needed an island there. I would have taken an island in a heartbeat. Rise of the Ants would have been good to you too. Can take 4 for a couple turns. Island would be really good so I can get bait hook angler down and still hold up flip the switch. Okay, so they have Jadar, Vampire Interloper. That's my only play. Shady Traveler. Ecstatic Awakener. Jadar is so good against blue-green. It's like the most difficult to beat blue-green card because it just gets so much value. I stemmed the bleeding for a little bit. I would love a Baneblade Scoundrel. I think I need to take that over the Jadar. Kind of got the Jadar locked up with my big creatures. And then I just need to get a Beta Gangler out, and I'll be chilling. just have free fodder for this. So I can either go for that, or if they go for a right, I can counter it. Like that I can't do everything I want. It's annoying, but that's just the nature of how it goes. I wouldn't have mana anyway to cast both of these. Rite of Oblivion's good. Jadar. Jadar is such a problem. I don't care about the skies as much. Well, I now once again care about the skies. But I wouldn't have been able to do anything about that guy anyway. Flesh Taker's a problem. It is a problem. It is a problem. Ay, 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 ay. Rite of Oblivion. Rite of Oblivion. Maybe if I use that, I can play my Tovolar's Huntmaster. This Candlegrove, which is an issue. Ugh. Jadar also enables Coven. I have 2 Flesh Takers. Ah, the Candle Trap. Oh, that was bad. You can sacrifice any number of things, so I have to block it. That was okay. Well, that's not good. Ugh. Rite of Oblivion's quite good. I didn't get rid of any non-land permanent is really irritating against my cards. Yikes. I'm in trouble. Right here in River City. That's trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Oh, trouble. Right here in River City. I need him to cast a spell that I can counter, but it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. They could have killed me that turn. The reason I thought I would need all my blockers for their guys, but if they don't cast any spells, this will flip and can block all those zombie tokens. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. I can't. It's not worth grabbing anything. The extra clicks won't do much. Seven attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. But I can't block these two anyway, so I could tap this and this. Also wolf to tap down that guy. Where did they gain their life from? From their just flesh taker stuff? Oh, I'm so close to being able to alpha strike them to death. Find a flyer. I need a flyer! I need a flyer from the night of the night. Falcon A-Bomb might do the trick. It also gives me an extra body to use for my tapping. No! Oh my gosh, they saved it. Oh, I already have my A-Bomb in the graveyard. I needed those lands earlier. So we now know they have Soul Guide Grip. And they drew it, because otherwise they would have got rid of my ants earlier. So Plummet's going to come in. Let's get against some other cards. Just make their clock tick a little bit more. Could come up. Clock is a game piece, as they say. Okay, so it's the witch, the bat, interloper. This guy could be really good and win me the game. I think one Geist Wave is where I want to be, and then one Plummet maybe. Got that guy. Flip the switch was not particularly effective there. Just gonna make it like that. I've seen half of their cards, essentially. I've seen 12 of them, and the Jadar is a real problem. The Rite of Oblivion can be really good against me as well. Overall, though, I think we've got a good shot. I don't think they played around Flip the Switch. I think they just didn't have any spells to cast. But maybe they did. I don't know. That was like a case of I mulliganed, had a tough draw. They had a tough draw too, though. They didn't have all their lands they needed. But this, if we were on the draw, this would be a little sketchier, but pretty much a snap keep here. We have a decent number of things to draw that could have an impact early, and then we've got guys that can block the Jadar token. Oh, they're mulling to 5. This could be a freebie if we hit our 4th land. Potentially. Because they sack outlets. That is a good point. I could cut locked. The problem is I'd have no ways of dealing with flyers, and so it could make them sacrifice a flyer or whatever still. That's a good point. I could cut it for a Plummet easily. I'll probably do that for game 3. Thanks for the reminder. Gosh darn it. I hate Jadar. He's so good. Oh my gosh. Jadar. I don't think I've ever beaten this card when it comes into play. Oh, they're gonna miss a land drop though. Nope, they're not. Just a post-combat main kind of land drop. Farmhand. That's a new one. Rite of Oblivion. No, that's not good. Wow, Jadar plus Rite of Oblivion is so absurd. I need to have a guy that can block these 2/2 tokens, but they're just going to sack it again. Hit me for 4. This is tough. Not hitting a card to play before turn 4 is going to cost me, but I don't think I can mulligan that hand on the play. They do not have Coven at the moment. Yep. Okay. Gonna get the Bait Hook Angler so I can get 2 blockers into play for next turn. If I need to. Yeah, turn 2 to Jadar is really good. Maybe I'm supposed to do the Rise. Because Rise can just stabilize me if I get to 8 mana. But I'm kind of afraid of Souldight Grift, to be honest. I don't want to just draw it naturally. Okay, 4. So I can block their 2 3-powered guys, take 2, 4, 5. I just have to hope they have no removal spells. We're cooking here. We're almost back. I think I might have turned this game around. Boom, that's why I did not mill it. It's because I was hoping to draw it. Yes! Looks like we're back. Interloper, for sure. It's gonna be really hard for them to kill me here. Boom, got the win. Do I have Cathar Commando on this list? So they mulled to 5 and still almost beat me. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I need another 2-drop on the draw. Oh no, I forgot to take out Locked in the Cemetery. It's all good. Great hand here. Hopefully they don't draw Rite of Oblivion for my curse. Maybe I'll lose because of the locked. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be clutch. Looking for land. Sure. Guess we'll see if they have Rite of Oblivion. And I get to just jam this thing, hopefully. I'm taking a bit of a hit here. But I gotta play my cards. Hope for the best. Geist Wave, that's huge. That'll help me catch up on tempo. Yes! No Rite of Oblivion, it looks like. I'm willing to throw away the card for the extra damage, and I will mill that. I'm about to get so many stats that it's okay. Don't overthink it with these things. When I know they don't have a removal spell, I know they don't have a Rite of Oblivion at least, because they would have hit the curse or killed the creature to get through for a big attack. So, sure, that's fine. I got my 2/2/2s. Drawing 2 cards a turn. I don't need the filtering as much, and I just need to not take 4 damage. That's big. Plummet, that's good. Figure I'll just double block this, triple block it, or whatever. I could have like tried to like bounce this back to my hand, but that's a bit too fancy, I think. Big, big, big. Things are looking up. I'm glad I jump blocked that Baneblade. Those U-turns. Pretty critical, I think. What do they have left that could be scary? Cathar Commando can kill it. Jadar's not really a threat anymore. Unruly Mob, that's a new one. Yes, I saved that plummet. Okay, taking 2. Big draw. Four, 8, 10, 12. I don't need to attack with this guy. Or this guy. Yes! Gets the win! Woo! That's huge. Oh my gosh! Boom! We're 1 win away. That one was looking dicey after that first game. Ah. One more to go. BLK Vox. We win the die roll. Nice. Unfortunately, we have to mulligan this because we can't cast anything. We don't even have our powerful spells. This is a keeper. I'm actually going to get rid of this Gale Drifter. It's particularly strong. This card's like one of my best cards. If they don't have a 2-drop, I could really punish them with 1 land drop. Okay, they do have a 2-drop. Big draw. Yes! He connects. Fine with that trade. Arrogant Outlaw. Adeline. Okay. Well, that's okay for me because I can take it. They probably think I have a counterspell, but I'm just mana screwed. Joke's on them. I would not want to tap Adeline because I'm going to steal it. Just going to take a clobbering this turn. No! Haha! Joke's on you. As long as it stays nighttime, we're okay. Oh. Oh! Joke's on you, buddy! Joke is on you, most certainly! Boom! Yes! I'm a genius! Wait, what? It doesn't exile? Oh, and opponent controls. Well, never mind, I'm not that much of a genius. Oh, I'm so dead. Did they just mill 3 creatures? Oh my god. have to just top deck a land and just jam my Tovolar's Huntmaster. Okay, I stopped writing down their cards. Dreadhound. They literally have like two of the best rares in the set. Got, what's this guy called? Brutal Cathar. Sun Gold Barrage. Sun Gold Sentinel. Red Hound. Clarion Cathar. The fact that they had to clear the one guy that like can get their dude back is really brutal. I also punted it by I should have just let it get exiled. And then just not killed the Cathar for a while. Morning Patrol. I didn't read the Cathar. I should have read it again. Okay, so what's good here? Oh my gosh. We did not see any instant speed removal. Except Sun Gold Barrage. This is your chance, defend the Celestis. This is your chance. I need to draw a land, and I can play Bird Admirer. Don't think that's good enough. Well, this hand is not good, but it's better than that last one. I also mulliganed that game as well. Maybe this guy can take over the game. I just need to have a high life total when I cast this card and I'll win. Come on, land. Farmer, I need you. Let's go. One more land, come on. Okay. Paragraph 4, Gavany Silversmiths. You've got to be kidding me, deck. Give me something to work with. Jeez Louise. Just praying. Have to draw a land here to get this guy down. Or this thing. More likely this thing. You've got to be kidding me, deck. You've got to be kidding me, man. I need you to come through for me once. You never do. Gosh darn it. This thing's gonna flip back, but I needed to do it. Had to be done. Can afford to make some chump blocks. I just needed to land. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a good draw. Oh no. This could end badly. Any creature dies? Oh no. Well, luckily we're going to be able to stabilize here, I think. Come on, land. Yes. So I can, if I attack with this, or attack, so I can create 2 more. So I can tap this guy with these 3. Attack. Make 2 more. Tap this guy. I have lethal. So 3, these guys are out of the picture. This guy's out of the picture. Or maybe I just leave this guy up so he has to chump block. That's even better. So I tap this guy. This guy attacks. I create 2 more wolves. Tap 3. This guy's tapped. And then I have 7, 10, 12, 14, 16 coming in. I'll have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 creatures, so I can't quite kill him. Oh, no, I can kill them, because this thing is 3 power. And then I'll have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can make it so they chump this. They take 1, 2, 2, 4, 6. I think I might have lethal here, but I just want to be safe here. Maybe I botched this. Okay, we didn't. I think I might have botched it. I thought I had lethal. I spent a long time thinking about it. So. Man, that Red Hound is terrifying. Eaten Alive is another card to know about. Oh my gosh. Defend the Celestis could still be good. How many flyers do they have? Not really any. Gonna get rid of the Bird Admirer then. Ice Wave. We'll see how that goes. Ilk Fox. This is good. I just hope they don't have turn 3 Adeline. You've got to be kidding me, farmer. You got to help me out here sometime. I've whiffed on so many farmers today. It's insane. Must have a bad draw or something. Morning patrol. Yeah, it got me to the lands. Ooh, I just wish I could grab one. I think I'm 1 for 4 actually getting a land out of the deal. Yes! Get out of here, Dreadhound! Nobody likes you! Oh, they don't have a sweeper. We're in. We did it. Who cares about your Sun and Gold barrage? So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes! Woo! Got there! Heck yes! Oh my gosh. That was one heck of a run. Whew! 7-0, baby! That was a thrill. Oh my gosh, yes! Let's go. Woo! Into day 2. Wow, let's just revel in our glory for a minute. Holy heck. Thanks, Vince. Oh my goodness. Got there. Whew. We got a couple of losses that were really close. We lost one game to our own Firmament Sage. But other than that, I think I played really well. I was really happy with it. Oh my goodness, and the deck was great. We had Tovolar's Huntmaster, Curse of Surveillance, Grafted Identity, so 3 fantastic rares. Good suite of early game plays. The Scab Wrangler was really good. Our interaction was a little bit weak, but we did have some good life gain and stuff like that. That's tough, Meowton. Yeah, I went 7-0 with this deck. Oh my goodness. But we got there in the end. Man, Tovolar's Huntmaster was pretty solid. I mean, pretty good. Rise of the Ants was great. Phantom Carrot good. Curse of Surveillance just carried us a few games. Beasts were good. Grafted was great when it was able to stick around. I mean, this card was... I think I cast this once and it literally chump blocked a 1/1 a couple times, but still. Flip the switch at that very end. Clutching it against the Dreadhound. Birdmire was okay. I'm not sure if it was really a great fit for my deck, but Startle's fantastic. Locked was okay. Geist Wave doing some good work, and then Larder Zombie carried me in a couple games. Absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention the Plummet. Oh my gosh, the Plummet was so absolutely clutch in some of our matchups. Just single-handedly winning us some of our games. Absolutely fantastic with that Plummet. Just absolutely loved it. So, great sideboard there as well. And really a great draft. Not great draft, a great performance day 1 of this event. That means I've qualified for day 2, so we'll be back tomorrow trying to qualify for the Mythic Championship, which is absolutely a blast to try and do. Just have to do the exact same thing again tomorrow. Play well, hope for the best. I didn't have to mulligan too much today. I managed to hit my land drops on turn 4 a lot of the time, or turn 3 when I needed them, when I kept 2 landers. But overall, really fun draft sealed video. If you made it all the way to the end and you were watching on YouTube, remember to hit that thumbs up button. It does help the video succeed and lets me know that you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more draft content. Click that bell icon so you get notified when I post future videos. And then comment below with your questions, thoughts, feedback. You can comment below if you're hyped as well to see the next performance from day 2. And also, if you made it all the way till the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag hunting for Plummet. Because Huntmaster's got a crossbow, he's kind of hunting through the skies, and then Plummet was super clutch as well, and Tovolar's Huntmaster in that final round really carried us to victory. Or you can leave your own creative hashtag that reflects some cool element of this video. So you could leave hashtag perfect run or something like that to let me know as well, because 7-0 is pretty hard to do, and I'm pretty excited about it. Remember that if you are enjoying my content, you can support my work via Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. You gain access to some pretty cool rewards, and also you're really helping me continue spending the time and effort to make these videos. I mean, this is like a 3-hour video or something, and I really appreciate everyone who helps me make them by supporting on Patreon. You can also, if you're on YouTube, you can become a channel member for $1 a month. You get a little badge that levels up over time. So that's a little fun thing that you can do if you want to support, and Patreon's also really inexpensive. It's the difference. It's $1 versus $2 or whatever. But it's just another little thing. If you'd rather do that, you can support me on YouTube directly if you don't want to bother going to another site. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can support my work at no extra cost yourself. Simply link your Amazon account and your Twitch account, and then you can subscribe to my Twitch stream with Amazon Prime. And it really does make a big difference. It helps me out. It's completely free to do because it's included with Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch, and so they're able to just help you support the creators who you enjoy. So if you're enjoying my content and you're an Amazon Prime user, there's really no reason not to go over and do it because it's free value. Even if you don't watch on Twitch, it all goes towards the same pie. And then you can also find my NicolaiBolas merchandise linked below. You can find links to the NicolaiBolas Discord server, which is free to join, the NicolaiBolas Twitter if you want if you are on Twitter all the time and you want to know when I'm posting new videos. I post on Twitter whenever I post a new video or when I go live. And then I have a whole list of the things that I want to make sure I don't forget to say. But yeah, you can also find links to my articles in the description down below as well. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Ton of fun, and I'll hope to do well tomorrow and maybe qualify for the Mythic Championship. That would be a ton of fun, and we're 1 run away from doing so. So I hope to see you there, and I will talk to you next time.